Now I request our Honorable Speaker, Designated Senior Counsel Sri L. Ravichander Garu to kindly adopt the chair on the dais. Good evening, our esteemed members of Telangana High Court Advocates Association. Today, the 27th of December 2024, this is been a most awaited day. We all have dreamed of this kind of endeavor since we got into, we have taken our charge. Thus, it is the day we are proud to announce that today it is THCAA-LAWS launch day. What is LAWS? LAWS? Law and Advocacy Weekly Seminars. This we promised you all in March, and now we are giving it to you. We take the privilege of making a small effort, that is commencing a weekly lecture series and titled it as THCAA-LAWS, a tradition of bringing precious experience and knowledge of senior jurists of our fraternity to the young and timely members of our fraternity. As the saying goes, a good lawyer knows the law and a genius lawyer knows the court. We bring being in a profession made out of lifetime learning, thus keeping up with sharpening our skills. As the saying goes, when did you last sharpen your axe? The story narrates directly correlates with our profession and learning. To keep upkeep with the sharpening of our skills and knowledge, our need of learning is perennial. To address the need, here we are with the series of lectures to be conducted every Friday here on. With privilege and pride, here I welcome our designated senior counsel Sri L. Ravichander Garu to enlighten us all on today's subject, that is courtcraft. Thank you.
President, members of the bar, can you hear me? Somebody was signing out to me in the fifth court. Privilege indeed to be addressing this association, a place where I started my practice. One major directional interest of the bar is that we used to be like this now in years. I wonder if this is a alteration from parallels to verticals. However, thank you very much, Alma Mater, for giving me the privilege of coming back to address an association where I have seated maybe to hear, learn, and progress. I have been hearing this for a while now from multiple judges of our court, that youngsters need to be trained into how they must be, or what they must do, how they must appear, etc. While law schools teach us constitutional law, civil law, criminal law, idea, all that. And life teaches us how to buy a car, when to move from a scooter to a car, from a one-bedroom rented apartment to a three-bedroom house to a farmhouse. None of these will teach us the craft of being lawyers and being good lawyers at that. The definition of a good lawyer is like a chance to a student and make it from time to time. My idea of a good lawyer could be very different from your idea of a good lawyer. Or there can be two different kinds of lawyers. we have VLNGK, very soft, very subtle, very smooth, very profound, very theoretical. You read out, you told the judge this. Then you would have somebody like Adinarayan, who he'd take the horse by its horns. Then this is it, this is the way you take it. And if you don't take it this way, there's something wrong with you. So the approaches can be very different, the styles can be different. Therefore, please do not expect at the end of this 15, 20, 30 minutes that we spend together, that you will become somebody who knows it all, and from tomorrow you just have to go into the court hall, say abracadabra and everything happens in place. No, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen with anything like that in life. I thought I would roughly divide Courtroom into these major areas. Your preparation before you go to a court, after you enter the court, during your course in the court, and after your case is over. These are primary physicalities or the basics of which I will take you through. The reason why in the 21st century I made bold to talk to you about the pre-entry is because even this has become a serious concern. I do not know whether the fault lies with us or it lies with a picky bench. But I do remember that on a certain day when I was sitting in one court hall, a young gentleman in denim trousers, hair let loose, walked in as if he was just walking in Indra Park. Even KBR Park nowadays, you're well dressed because you know who you're going to run into. And the judge saw this. The judge is always noticing who's coming, what's going. You can see it on that camera screens. And he immediately pulled up that ball and told him, this is not the way to come to court. You must be better dressed. Ask so and so, learn how to dress up like them and come. Now this can be very demeaning for a youngster. It can just kill the spirit. Many of us trust the way we dress because we don't care too much about our physical appearance, not because we want to make a statement. There are few of us who carry a swag or who dress in a certain manner and are making a statement. But many young boys especially are just unkept by habit. They are as kept as their bachelor dates and rooms are. But today, you are a professional. And the day you have signed up with the bar, understand a professional is living in a glass house. You have no choice. You don't want to live in a glass house? Don't live in one. You're free. You can wear your denim trousers, half banyans, shorts, go where you want, what you wear. Nobody's going to ask you. But a profession is something that is seen by society as something higher than most others. For example, today when you have an advocate's badge on your car, the policeman is hesitant to hold on to you. He assumes that you are an advocate. He's not afraid that you will file a civil suit against him. He has government pleaded for home, why should that he will take care? The respect that you get as a professional is extremely different from the respect you get out of money and anything else. And this is something that you rely on. And that perhaps is why judges say, at least come properly dressed to court. In very, very recent times, maybe last 6 months, 1 year, I And you must excuse me if I am being gender specific here. But this is our house, our room. If we don't talk to each other frankly here, we will have to pay the price elsewhere. So I am making bold to telling the lady members of this bar. Please do not overdress or underdress on the road. Fortunately, my eyes fall on every lady in this hall today properly dressed for it. I have seen people wearing 4 inches of zari sari coming to court. I have seen ladies with huge floral patterns coming to court. I have seen ladies coming to court with a lot of flowers on their head, like K.R. Vijaya did it in the 1960s and 70s. I have seen them wearing jhumkas, big iodized silver jhumkas. That's not the way to dress to professionals. I'm sure there is a TGIF in our lives. There is a Friday evening, there is a Saturday. I'm sure we can dress like that. The whites and the blacks are made for court. And nowadays, every sari shop, every W, West End, Pantaloon, all of them sell lovely kurtis, kurtas, trousers for men and women to wear. I think we must make best use of it. The other aspect is, please be groomed. I know for a guy who's like me, I have no business to be talking about being well groomed. But you know, I have age on my subject. That's all right. But youngsters, please, I've seen youngsters rushing to court with their socks hanging out, their shoes looking up. They wear these slip-on shoes with the back of their shoes not even their heel not even inside the shoe. Understand these are all very, very, very little things that somebody is noticing. Ensure you wear your bands properly when for God. I have multiple times told the juniors your bands are straight. So please ensure that when you're walking into a court hall, silence can be a statement in itself. Well dressed, clean. When I say well dressed, I don't mean well designed costumes. I'm not asking you to wear a black Armani and come to court. You're already well stitched, broken down. Das is here. You can wear a loose gown, that's all right. You can wear a loose coat, that's better. But ensure that your shirt is clean. You're wearing clean collar bands and you're wearing only white shirts. And you're not wearing store-wash pants and heavy trousers. This still applies to all men and women. Also ensure, maybe especially when you're coming into a court hall, you're not carrying a baggage with you. Please be minimalistic in what you're carrying inside the court hall. I know all of you have carried you have bags and bags with multiple things that you need at any point in time. So please ensure you do not carry inside. This in short sort of sums up the physicality of your entering the court. Let's go to the other aspect of what you should do before you come into the court. Check your case number and check the cause list before you get inside the court. Do not peep in here, there, everywhere, disturb A, B, C, D, A, just not. Just watching each of these unprepared aspects of yours. Not difficult. This happens because some of us wake up late and then coffee time, breakfast time is all in leisure. Suddenly we realize 10:30 is inevitable and then we start rushing. Please do not do that. A calm mind walking into a court in itself is a step of a person who is organized and he knows what he is in for. If you are panting for breath, unready, you don't know where your books are, you don't know where your papers are, you're searching left, right, and center,
not only is the person who is observing you making a mental note of your lack of preparedness, the judge is also making a note of the same. Most importantly, the client, either the present or the future, is looking at the kind of person who's coming to court. Is this all you need to do before you come to a court? The answer is no. There's a lot more to it. There is a complaint among judges that we are underprepared. Just as the bar also thinks judges became judges before they were prepared to become judges. But unfortunately in our system, whatever they are, whether they are prepared, underprepared, educated or otherwise, they are judges. We don't have that luxury. And therefore, you cannot say, hey, in a balancing act, if you believe that one end of the balance is improper and the balance is a given physical necessity, your input will have to be more. This is simple logic. You don't want to be the other blind man with the elephant. Therefore, preparation is an absolute imperative. You have no compromise there. It is at least play devil's advocate with yourself. ఒక కేసు రాగానే అరే మంచి కేసు ప్రాసెస్ చేసేది. See what are all the minus points in that case, because human nature will not throw you to an anti-situation unless there is something behind it. So please, when a client comes to you, ensure you find out what is wrong with your client's case before you decide what is right with your client's case. I'm going to slightly move from courtcraft because pleading is also a part of it. How do you wind up afterwards? When we were youngsters, we always used to get a doubt. Should I file a CRP? Should I file a CMP? Nowadays, I don't see many people asking this question. Besides, I'm probably all of you have learned the law far better than we did. Should I file CRP? Should it be a miscellaneous appeal against an order under the Commercial Courts Act? Should I file a straightaway appeal? What happens? These are things that the book will tell you. When you get an order from a court below, first check from that statute whether there is an appeal. And let me tell you a small secret here. Whenever there is a statutory appeal, whenever there is a statutory revision, you are free to come to the High Court without going to the revisionary authority. You must convince the High Court saying, High Courts have repeatedly said revision is not an effective alternative remedy and therefore going before the revisionary authority is not a remedy under the law. However, if there is a statutory appeal, then you go there and then come. The trick there also is very simple. Go before the statutory authority with an interim application, he will not grant it. 11 out of 10 times he will not grant you an interim order. Against that, come to the High Court and go before the High Court on the whole issue. Something so simple. How do you draft it? Apart from the court's name, please ensure you get the name of your client correct. You get his address correct. After you do this, always when you are making multiple respondents, private respondents will be last, official respondents will be first. Even in a litigation which involves a statutory writ, first will come the statutory authorities, the official authorities, and only after that will come the private authorities. now even lawyers with 15 years, 20 years practice make the error of saying so-and-so officer and then file a writ against him. You write the name of an officer in a writ petition only and when you are attributing malafide to that person. There will be a situation where you do not want to call a man, attribute malafide, but you want to say that he's done something. What do you do? Do not say it is malafide. Say it is a honorable exercise of power. Do not make him a party and protect the petition. While you are drafting, take a pen and paper, or nowadays you have to pads. Very simple. Just shut up for some time and let your client talk. Let your client talk and you just keep making notes of what your client is saying. Luckily nowadays you have a software where after you have put down the dates of what that person has said, they automatically come down chronologically if you apply that software onto your note. You just have to say, I submit this happened, I submit that happened. Therefore, the talent is not in writing the affidavit, the talent is in taking down what your client is telling you. Date-wise, write down everything that he has said, put them together. It's like Yale. Somebody is giving you bulgure, somebody is giving you save, somebody is giving you onions, somebody is giving you tomatoes, somebody is giving you indigo chutney, somebody is giving you green chutney. सबको मिला दो आपका affidavit बन गया. As far as possible, avoid case law in your pleadings. Avoid case law because nobody is going to sit and write a counter to that. Keep your case law in a note attached to your file of the petition office. Next. What do you do after you enter the courts? Ensure that when you stand up before the judge, before you stand up before the judge, your papers are before you. Every sheet of paper that you have pleaded must stand before you come out. I know judges in this court who say, if you have not filed it, how do you rely on it? I have told judges, if somebody on the other side says something which is not in an affidavit, I have told them, my lords, that which is not part of the pleading but which is a part of an argument is gossip. So do not permit gossip, do not be a part of it. Ensure that your sheet has your record before you, has every document that you are relying upon, every statute that you are relying upon. A judge, just to make life miserable to you, would ask you the most obvious questions of law. Which law says that a division lies against interlocutory order granting, refusing injunction, or something like that. So, even basic principles, somebody will ask you a question, so be prepared. The challenge of a young advocate is three. One, you're not going to get out of money like we guys do. Not because you don't deserve it, but because we are more greedy. One. Two, please understand that the process is long, but the process is worth the trouble. Today, I know many of you have peers, your college mates, your classmates, who can afford so many things that you can't afford as a young lawyer because you get paltry amount either from your client or from your senior. But believe me, after 15 years from today, the luxury level and the power level that you will be living in society, those guys, those friends are going to be envious. The other guys are going to call you up and say, "Arey, mere bete ko phone, wo school mein seat hona, arey mere ko wahan pe ye hona," and you are the guy who's going to call and get them all that. So power and prestige will come to you in large dosages only at a later point in time. On your way, therefore, when you enter the court,
first few seats are not yours unless your case is coming. I've seen lawyers going and sitting in a court hall in the first few rows when their case is 79 in a court where at the end of the day you reach only 30. Don't do that. Because the judge also gets a feeling you have nothing to do. The next is, during the case, please, I can understand judges who do not hear what lawyers are saying, but I cannot understand lawyers who are not listening to what the judge is telling them. It's a common practice in court hall one these days. He'll tell some lawyer, please make him understand what I'm saying. Now this is because we are so worked up about what we have read that we refuse to hear what the judge is telling us. As a consequence of which, sometimes, even if the judge is suggesting something to us which is extremely in our favor, we keep on. Be brief. Be straight, be blunt. Do not use flowery language. It sounds a little peculiar at the time saying. I would like to carve out an exception in my case for a variety of reasons. We'll come to that in another time. It's relevant to the present. Please address the court as the Lords, unless you're addressing Court Hall 5, Court Hall 6, and the like. The accepted proper form of addressing a lady judge is ladyship. I don't know why we continue to laud the ladies, and I see most members of the bar, except in the case of Chief Justice Hima Kohli, they continue to make this mistake. With her, they never made this mistake. So I think it's somewhere in our heads. We need to correct that and ensure that you do not get into a needless argument with the judge. The golden rule: do not lose a judge for this. You are going to come back to this judge. He is going to be here for a long time. The client for whom you are appearing today may come tomorrow, may not come tomorrow. With your relationship with your client is one of commerce. He pays you salary, he doesn't pay you, don't have it. Therefore, do not sell your conscience, your credibility, and your career to a guy who is paid you some money for case. A judge of this court, in a recent judgment, has been critical about lawyers shouting at court. There is one school which thinks that if you shout at a judge, he will get scared of you. You are only irritating him. You are not unnerving a judge. Please understand. The only way that man can go is by an impeachment, which has not happened in the history of the state. We are all too small for such big brains. Let's understand. Therefore, in the process, do not fight him. Once in a while, what a bit put in the discussion. That's a good way. It makes sense, therefore, if you disagree with the judge. I see somebody in the doorstep, learn from him. He is very strong on his law. He knows what he is saying, and yet will not dismiss the judge. I'm talking about Prabhakar. It's something that we all like to learn from. The art is that you need to be connected about yourself. And I'm not talking about Prabhakar, the designated senior. I'm talking about Prabhakar, the lawyer. I've seen him grow from a lawyer to a designated senior. He's just like this. He knew how to press home a point without shouting. Please, you're not in a slang match. You're not in parliament or assembly or municipal council meeting. So don't shout, it's not good. Do not make any allegation against other member of the bar. Yes, somebody was telling me, Padinariki going making a mention before the court. Meer enta slips ichina court registry is not caring, madam. If they are not caring, why will she give you one more slip? She won't give you. So please use tact. And your tact, do not put
day, however important the case may be. It is not more important than your tomorrow's case or your day after's case, which you don't know could be a much bigger case which may just come alive in your life. Ours is a court of law. Ours is a career in law. Many of us who never saw money see money suddenly. Many of us who see money suddenly disappear. So all these happen. Do not feel disheartened that all these are difficult processes. They are not very simple. Provided you don't set very lofty ideals on yourself. Be prepared, be simple, be nice. I think these things will take you through. I'll sign off. I'm more than willing to answer more questions and keep speaking. I told the President I'll speak for about half an hour. My half an hour is over. I said, I quote Lord Acton who said, the life of a lawyer is never a bed of roses. It is either all bed and no roses, or all roses and no bed. Thank you.